You receive money from the bank in the form of interest when you save money. That interest begins to earn its own interest if you keep it in your account. When you save money and it turns interest on top of itself, you are earning compound interest. As an example, if you have $1,000 in a savings account that receives 5% annual interest, you would earn $50 in year 1, bringing your new balance up to $1,050. Then in year 2, you would earn 5% on the larger balance of $1,050, bringing your new balance up to $1,102.50 at the end of year 2. Compound interest allows your savings account balance to increase faster over time as you collect interest on balances that are higher and higher. A balance of $4,321.94 would result from leaving $1,000 in this fictional savings account for 30 years at a rate of 5% yearly interest without ever making any more deposits. Welcome to our channel, The Money Bender. Subscribe and let's dive in. Guys, remember, these are not advice from financial experts, but these are some of the valuable ideas that could pave the way to improve your personal finances. Understanding compound interest. You need to understand a few crucial components in order to calculate compound interest. Each plays a distinctive part in the final product, and some factors might have a significant impact on the outcome. The following 5 elements are crucial to understanding compound interest. Interest. Interest is the amount of interest you get or pay. You either earn more money or pay more money when the interest rate rises. Starting principal. How much do you have to work? How much money did you take out? Although compounding increases over time, it all depends on the initial amount you deposit or borrow. Frequency of compounding. How quickly a balance increases depends on how interest is compounded, daily, monthly, or annually. Make sure you are mindful of how often interest compounds while taking out a loan or beginning a savings account. Duration. How long do you plan to keep an account active or repay a loan? You will earn or pay more money or gather more debt as time goes on along if you save money in a savings account or remain in debt. Deposits and withdrawals. Do you plan to put money into your account on a regular basis? How frequently will you pay back the loan? Over time, it depends on how quickly you increase your principal balance or reduce your loan balance. The earlier you begin, the more money you will earn. Say you save $2,000 each year, your money would increase 7 times to $362,562 if you started at age 18 and stopped at age 41. You would still have made $48,000 over 23 years if you started investing at age 42 as compared to earlier. By the time you were 65, though, your wealth had only doubled to $100,305. Now we will just speak about the comparison of simple and compound interest. Compounded interest operates differently than simple interest. When computing simple interest, earned interest is not compounded or invested back into the principal amount. When calculating simple interest, you would receive $50 annually from a $1,000 account balance, earning 5% annual interest. The principal would not be increased by the amount of interest generated. You would receive an additional $50 in year 2. The interest is payable on auto loans and other types of short-term consumer loans is frequently calculated using simple interest. Keeping ahead of inflation. Do your parents or grandparents ever mention how cheap things used to be? Prices tend to rise, and they have increased significantly over the years. The money we have buys fewer and fewer goods and services. As prices rise and goods get more expensive, whether it's for food, gas, or vehicles. That is called inflation. Although the fact that we may have cash on hand, it is always decreasing, and slipping through our fingers. This may make it difficult for long-term objective savings. How can we save enough to prevent inflation? Investing is one method. We must ensure that our money increases through compound returns. In a perfect world, the rate of return would be higher than the rate of inflation. How to calculate when your money will be doubled by applying the rule of 72. You can increase your investment by doubling or tripling over the period of your lifetime. The rule of 72, which calculates how many years it will take to double your money at a certain rate of return, is a simple technique for estimating your growth. The computation estimates the number of years it will take to double your investment by dividing 72 by the rate of shown return. Consistency and nerve are important for optimizing this strategy, so keep that in mind. Since the rate of return is an average over several years, profitable approaches will experience multiple economic fluctuations, and investors will need to survive them. If you're a beginning investor, you want to start benefiting from compound interest as soon as possible with the least amount of risk possible. Savings instruments like CDs are the way to go. When compared to a standard savings account, CDs often offer higher interest rates and have a minimum deposit requirement. A CD's length might vary, although it typically ranges from 3 months to 5 years. You will have full access to your funds once the CD matures. If you need the money sooner, you have two options. Pay an early withdrawal penalty or choose a shorter-term CD that will earn you a little bit more interest. How to use compound interest to benefit you. Give yourself time. Time is everything when it comes to compound interest. The longer you give that money to grow, the more time you give it to do so. For this reason, it's so important that you start saving for retirement as soon as possible. Less of your personal money needs to be saved when you start. Compounding can help your retirement savings to grow in size. Pay off debt. Check the rate of compounding. Whether you borrow money through credit cards, education loans, or other forms of borrowing, compound interest works against you. Over time, you'll pay less if you can pay things down more quickly. Also, you'll make more money if an account compounds interest more regularly. Your savings items should compound as often as possible, while your debts should compound as infrequently as possible. Finally, your savings and retirement potential can be greatly increased by compound interest. Successful compounding enables you to achieve your goals with less of your own money. However, compounding can also be used against you, as when high-interest credit card debt accumulates over time. Therefore, it is a strong motivator to pay off your debts as quickly as you can and to start investing and saving money early. Okay, guys, this is the conclusion of this video. Let's meet again. Thank you for joining us and ensure you stay tuned into the Money Bender. Follow for more.